Hi, there's Life Prepper here, and I got a simple overall question. And I listen to people talk, and I listen to these old war vets talk about, you know, during the war and blah, 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 blah. I mean, you can't help but hear people talk when they get in their little groups. They talk about all this. But here's what I want to talk about. What would people do if the war comes to the USA soil? I hear someone say, oh, it won't never happen. America won't let it happen. It just ain't going to happen. They try to come to our soul, we'll stop them. Okay. You know, I hear them talking about all that. Then I'll hear them sitting there saying, they've been threatening us for years and nothing ever came of it. It ain't going to come of it now. And why would they think they could be able to come over here to the USA soil? Because we'll stop them. So, and then you hear them then you hear some of these young bucks and, talking. Yeah, they come here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to shoot those MFs. Sure am. Yep, yep. Oh, yeah. Bro, man, I'll just give them a joint. Here, I'll just sit and smoke some stuff with them. Man, just lay back and chill with them. You hear all kinds of responses. But the bottom line is, what will people do? The United States has more overweight people than many of these other countries do. And many of these other countries do consume high-fat food. But the difference is they moderate themselves. The difference is a lot of the chemicals and substances that have been banned in other countries are still being used in the USA. Also, people there are more active. They walk around, they do things. So obesity is not as common in many of the countries. Here, it's very common. You see the increase on it with the children. You see the increase on it with the adults. You hear people talk big, what they're going to do. Then you've got people here in the U.S. that's trying to stop people from having their own guns, their own weapons. And I'm not saying that the people are wrong in situations, but I am saying that they have a right to defend themselves within their own home. I'm not saying for these people who are gun fanatics and has 500 guns, because you don't need, unless they just, a lot of people just like collecting them. They just like having them, just like anybody else wants to collect bells. They like collecting them, and that's fine if they can afford it. Same way with knives or bows or whatever it is. People just like them, and that's cool. Now, the thing is that the problem is what you are seeing on these sites, and I see a lot of it on prepper sites. I have had weight issues and stuff. I was gained a lot of weight. I was laid up. I had barely was able to walk in a lot of pain. So my healing process, I gained weight. I've taken most of it off. I'm a stocky built person. It's just how it is. But the thing is I am or try to be as active as possible within my limits. Now, too many of them don't. If I got off grid like I want and got away from a lot of the other stuff, I've started cutting out. I was traveling a lot more. I was eating out a lot more. It wasn't good. But the fact is that a war comes to the United States. More people are out of shape than in many of the other countries. The ones that are in shape, then is the number is, I don't know how you would balance it out, because the number of the people increasing in the weight is bigger than the people who are healthy. So in the event of a war coming to the USA soil, would we be able to defend ourselves or want to defend ourselves, Are we under this rose-colored glasses thinking it'll never come to us? We will be able to do what we got to do. We got the soldiers out there. They're going to defend us. They're going to stop them. Do we really? What would we do as the people? How would we survive? I believe many people would want to run to the FEMA camps, thinking the FEMA camps is going to take care of them. Many of them would run to other people who has food and everything stored up and expecting these people to take care of them in a situation. Many of these people will expect the government to bring them food to take care of them. So it's a lot to think about. People in the USA has become complacent. It has increased in obesity. It has increased in children, especially children. Health issues has increased because many of the foods that we are consuming, stuff in them is banned in other countries. I can't do everything. I know I'm not right. I was watching a program talking about, uh, you know, E5. I think it's E5 was coloring that was in the certain grains and stuff. It's and I was like, okay, no more. I'm not drinking. Love certain grains, but I won't drink them anymore because of that. Do I still drink some other grains I should drink? Yes, but I've changed that out. Diet grains and stuff, love diet grains, but some of the diet grains I stay away from. I drink more water with lemon in it. I drink, I changed. I'm not solving it, but I've changed it. And that's what they're counting on, people to depend on these things. So in this thing is, the war comes to the USA soil. These people have become so codependent on these things. And they're so in their mind thinking that USA is going to take care of all of them. I'm sorry, but I want to tell you what. Push comes to shove, the government is going to go underground. The rich is going to go underground. They're going to take care of what they got to take care of, and the rest of us is going to have to figure out how to survive out here. If you take a look around the war, where some of these around the world, some of these wars have been going on for years. These children grew up in this stuff. They got an arm missing. They got a limb missing. These people are not overweight because they're having to survive off what they can get a hold of from day to day. So why does people think this stuff? Why do they think that everything's going to be fine? That they would never come to the U.S. soil? They would never dare do it? Wrong. These people will come if we're not careful. Then the problem is we create a lot of our own problems by fussing with a lot of them. We create them. So what are people going to do? Less and less people want to live in the country. Less and less people want to live off grid. Once people went to the hunting cabins, they stayed during the summer months. They enjoyed staying. Less and less people are doing this. More and more people are dependent on have their little cell phones hooked to them. More and more people are dependent on the internet. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to have it myself, but I love my internet. I love doing my YouTube videos. But the thing is, people have become complacent. And they're going to think the government is going to be there, but the government will only be there to a point. To a point. And then we are going to have to decide how we are going to survive. I'm sorry, a 400-pound person is not going to have it that easy. They're going to have to make choices. The person who's never being on disability, who does nothing, is going to have a hard time. People will betray one another. They will put the band on and go to the other side so they can survive. They will betray their brothers. They will betray their sisters. They will betray their parents, their cousins, uncles, and aunts. They will do it for themselves. They will follow into other groups because they think that's the best thing to do, and they believe they're right. So this is going to happen. We are setting ourselves up for something that could happen. Not saying it will. May never happen. But they will come over here and they will attack and they will destroy. If you look at the other countries, England, France, different ones, at homes that was attacked, homes that was destroyed, what makes you think they won't do it here? So I can ramble on and on about this and tell you this and tell you that. But the thing is that we are setting ourselves up. This is Life Prepper here. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.